Hi guys, I Aziz welcome you to CoedMaster. In this video, I am going to talk about polymorphism. Polymorphism is one of the core pillars of object-oriented programming. Using polymorphism, you can write flexible and loosely coupled software. In order to become better software developer, it is very crucial to understand the concept of polymorphism and the idea that goes behind the polymorphism. So if you are willing to learn polymorphism in detail, then this video is for you. Make sure to watch this video till the end. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Alright guys, so let's begin this video. So let's start with the very first question, that what is polymorphism? So guys, polymorphism is a term and it is made up of two terms. If we break this term into two halves, we will get poly, that is a one word, and morphism, it is a second word. So the meaning of poly is many and the meaning of morphism is forms. So the overall word of polymorphism tells that it is a capability of object and method to take many forms in various circumstances. So basically what happens in polymorphism, the objects and methods behave or react differently in different circumstances. Now, what advantage do we get using this property? So using this property, we can make our software flexible and loosely coupled. This is the main purpose of polymorphism. And the idea that goes behind the polymorphism is taking different forms in different circumstances. So I hope the definition of polymorphism is clear to you. Now, polymorphism is broadly divided into four categories. Number one is the compile time polymorphism. Second one is runtime polymorphism. Third one is parametric polymorphism. And the fourth one is coercion or casting polymorphism. Okay. So in all of these categories, methods and objects takes different form, sometimes at compile time and sometimes at runtime. So I will show you examples of all of these categories one by one. So let's begin with the first category, that is compile time polymorphism. So here I have one class and the name of this class is adder. This adder class has two static methods and you can see that the name of both the methods is exactly same. Okay, only the difference in the signature, that this method returns integer and this method returns double, and this method takes integer as arguments and this method is taking double as arguments. Okay, now let's go back to main.java. Now here you will say that I am calling adder.add method by passing integer to this method, and here I am calling adder.add method by passing double as arguments to this method. Now if you run this program, you will see that it will work absolutely fine. The method in which we have passed integer value is returning 22 as sum of these two numbers. Okay, and the method in which we have passed double is giving sum as 24.9, and this is absolutely correct. So guys, have you ever wondered how this is working? Although the name of both the methods is exactly same, then how this method is changing form from integer to double? So this is where the concept of polymorphism comes into picture. At the time of compiling the source code, the compiler decides which method to call. So compiler detects that this method is taking two integer arguments. So it's going to match this method with this method at the compile time. And at the runtime, this method evaluates the value of a plus b. Similarly, when we pass a double value into the argument of this method, at the compile time, the compiler checks the input arguments of this method and matches the input arguments of this method. So this way compiler come to know that we want to call this method, and then at runtime it computes the sum of a plus b. So guys, this is how this method is behaving or taking different forms based on the type of arguments, which is why we call it compile time polymorphism. Okay. So I hope compile time polymorphism is clear to you. Now let's move on to see the runtime polymorphism. Okay. So guys, I have notification service here. This is the same example we have been using in all the videos. Okay. This class is responsible for sending push notification. Then we have push notification class, and this class is responsible for sending push notification. We have email notification class, and this class is responsible for sending email notification class. Then we have SMS notification class. SMS notification class is responsible for sending SMS notification. And then we have notification class, and this class is the parent of all of this class. Now this parent class has one implementation with send method. Okay, so this is the default way of sending any notification. Now what all of these classes doing? Now we are overriding the send method of the parent class inside the child class, and using this overriding method we are changing the implementation of the notification, because in SMS notification we want a different way of sending notification, right? We do not want the default way, right? So that is why we are overriding this method of the parent class inside of the child class. Similarly, in email notification we are again overriding the class, and here we are giving the implementation of sending notification via email. And as same as email notification, in push notification also we are overriding the class from the parent class to change the implementation of sending notification, because here we want to send notification via push. So these are all the child classes and this is a parent class. Now let's move on to the main class. Now let's write some code. So here you can see that I am creating a new instance of push notification, then new instance of email notification, and then new instance of SMS notification. And I am storing instance of all the classes in the reference of parent class. Okay, so this notification is the parent class. So that is why we are able to store the object of child class in a variable whose type is equal to parent class. Okay, so guys, if you look at this code, you can see that I am storing all the instances of child class into the reference variable of parent class, right? So guys, until compile time, the compiler does not know which implementation to use, because we are referencing all the instance of child class into the parent class, and parent class also has send method, and this same send method is available in all the child class also. But the question over here is which implementation to use. So guys, this is where runtime polymorphism comes into picture. So while compile time, all the instances of child class is stored in the reference variable of parent class, but when this program runs on JVM, then the JVM internally figure out which implementation to use. So guys, what happens in runtime, when we pass this push notification object into this send method, the push notification implementation is used at runtime. And if we send this email notification object into this method, then the email notification implementation is used at runtime. Similarly, if we pass SMS notification into this method, the implementation of SMS notification is used at runtime. So guys, this is how you can see that all of these object is changing the form at runtime based on the type of instance we are storing into this variable. So this is called runtime polymorphism. So let's run the program and you will see that we are able to send push notification, email notification and SMS notification. As simple as that. So guys, this is all about runtime polymorphism, and we can achieve runtime polymorphism using method overriding. Okay. So in compile time polymorphism, we are overloading method, okay? And both of these methods are overloaded method, right? Because the name of both the methods are same. But in case of runtime polymorphism, we have a send method in parent class, and all the child methods are overriding this send method to provide the specific implementation based on SMS, email and push, right? Now let me take you to the next section where we see the parametric polymorphism. Now if you look at this piece of code, we are sending push notification instance into this method. Now let's go to this method. Now if you look at this method is taking an instance of notification, right? Now why notification? Because all the classes are child classes of notification, which means if we write notification here, then we can receive all the object of a class which is a child class of this class. Now again here also n variable is used to store the instance of all the child classes. So this means when we pass push notification to this method, email notification to this method, SMS notification to this method, the behavior of this variable n changes at runtime. Okay, and what happens in polymorphism? The meaning of polymorphism is to take different forms. So here this n variable is taking different forms when we are passing different objects into this method. N is going to work according to the object it receives. And as we know that all the object has send method, it's going to call push notification send method when we pass push notification instance to it. it's going to call send method of email notification object when we pass email notification object into it, and it's going to call send method of SMS notification object when we pass SMS notification object into this method. So if you run the program, you will see that it is working absolutely fine. So this means this n is taking different forms at runtime, depends upon the which object we are sending into this method. Okay. Now this is all about the parametric polymorphism. Now let me show you the third way of polymorphism, that is coercion or casting polymorphism. Now let's have a look here. So we have a variable alphabet and the type of this variable is character, and we are storing character to this variable, right? After this we have one ASCII value variable and the type of this ASCII variable is integer. Okay. And what are we doing? We are simply assigning this character value into this integer value. Okay. So let me print this character before assigning it to integer. Okay. Now let's run the program. So if you look at the output, at this step the value of alphabet is A. Okay. And if you look at the output of this statement, now the value of alphabet A changes to integer. Why is it so? Because we are storing a value of character into a variable whose type is integer. So basically the JVM is internally implicitly converting the type of this character A into its integer counterpart, and the value of A in integer counterpart is 65. So here also character A is behaving differently at the time of runtime. So here it is behaving as a character, that is why we get A as output, and in this piece of code it is behaving as an integer. So it is taking different form at different circumstances. So guys, this is all about the polymorphism in object-oriented programming, and the main purpose of polymorphism is that object and method takes different form in different circumstances, and because of this polymorphic property of object and methods we can build flexible software. And guys, polymorphism is a concept that is used in a software development process a lot. So whenever we talk about object-oriented programming, polymorphism is a thing which is used by almost all the libraries and all the frameworks. And why is it so? Because using polymorphism we get control over how methods and object behaves differently at compile time and at runtime. And because of polymorphism we can make our software flexible to change. So this is all from my side for this video. If you learned something valuable from this video, then please hit the like button in order to make YouTube algorithm happy. Please subscribe to this channel and don't forget to click the bell icon so my friend you never miss any upcoming videos. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.